The U.S. leading a coalition of 13 countries and issuing a final warning.
A U.S.-led coalition of 13 countries are issuing what is being called a final warning.
We're at real risk of the conflict in the Mideast escalating.
There is a real danger of escalation in the war in the Middle East.
Breaking news coming out today, January the 4th, as the United States is saying they have issued their final warning. Houthis launched sea drone to attack ships hours after the United States allies issued their final warning, and they're saying that this is it. Now, let me know your thoughts. Are these empty threats, or is it going to escalate? A lot of people saying that right now the Biden administration issuing empty threats, and we have received threats from Iran time and time again with troops being attacked. Just take a look. Iran says the U.S. will not be spared from their fire. This back in October 27th in the UN on the United States soil before all of the United Nations, threatening the United States. Also, Iran says the U.S. will be hit hard if no ceasefire in Gaza. And take a look, U.S. forces in Iraq and Syria have been attacked more than 100 times in 2023, and now we are finally seeing some response. However, we've also received warnings from former President Donald Trump just a little while ago that World War III now is imminent and that there is obliteration that will be coming if we do not stop what is taking place with the conflicts around the world with the United States, Iran, China, Taiwan, Russia, Ukraine, Israel, Hamas. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Now, I'm going to be sharing with you the latest video footage so you can hear exactly what happened today, and also a word from today's video sponsor. But before we dive in, do me a quick favor. If you appreciate the updates, don't forget, smash the like button. Just takes a second. Helps out the channel a ton. Hit subscribe to stay up to date. I'll let you know everything that's going on so you don't miss out on anything. But with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right in. Now, I've been in the wholesaling and house flipping business for quite a while, and I've seen a lot of people succeed and a lot of people try and fail. And one of the major reasons that people fail is because they're not willing to look hard for good deals. They expect them just to fall into their laps. The people who win in this game are the ones that are willing to get on the phone and make deals happen. But winning on the phone is not just simply picking up the phone and shooting out a few texts. That's for amateurs. You need tools. And you can learn from me. When I first started my business, I was doing everything off of my personal cell phone. And I had my personal and my business texts all jumbled together. It was a mess, and I lost a lot of business. If you're an entrepreneur of any kind, especially one with a business that requires a lot of text and phone communications with customers, there's a tool that you're going to want to consider picking up this year, and that is today's video sponsor, Nextiva. With Nextiva's phone cloud system, you can create phone numbers in different area codes. So if you're a real estate investor dialing for deals, Nextiva will help you get more answers and close more deals. You'll get unlimited calling, business texting, and auto attendant, voice analytics, and many more features that will make your business as polished as a Fortune 500 company. They even take it a step further by letting you manage all conversations and engagements with customers and teams with one powerful, easy-to-use app called Nextiva One. This means no more switching between a dozen different apps to get the job done. Instead, Nextiva lets your team understand precisely how a customer interacts with your business and see the entire journey from start to finish. For example, if you're on the phone with customers using Nextiva, you'll be able to take notes on the call, text that customer, schedule a video meeting, and then join that meeting all from the same view. Basically, they're able to take what usually would be 4 different apps, combine them all into one at a fraction of the cost. With Nextiva's customer reporting 60% cost saving on their phone bill after switching. Nextiva makes life easier so you can focus on growing your business. Go to trynextiva.com/Steve Ram to save up to 50% on your plan. Also linked in the description below. Again, that's trynextiva.com/Steve Ram to get started today with 50% off and talk to a Nextiva representative to see if it's right for you. And with that being said, let's get back to the video.
Well, a U.S.-led coalition of 13 countries are issuing what is being called a final warning to the Iranian-backed Houthi rebels, vowing consequences if the terror group continues to attack ships in the Red Sea. Since the 19th of November, there's been at least 23 Houthi attacks on commercial vessels. National Security Council spokesman John Kirby spoke about this yesterday. Here's what he had to say. Watch.
As the president has made clear, the United States does not seek conflict with any nation or actor in the Middle East, nor do we want to see the war between Israel and Hamas widen in the region. But neither will we shrink from the task of defending ourselves, our interests, our partners, or the free flow of international commerce.
Joining us now on set here in New York, retired 2-star Marine Corps General, the Panaro Group CEO and author of The Ever-Shrinking Fighting Force, General Arnold Panaro. General, what a pleasure to have you here with us in New York today.
Well, Cheryl, such a privilege to be with you here on the set. It's a great thrill for me personally.
Yeah. John Kirby, look, he's got a tough job trying to deal with an administration that has, let's say, honestly, has made a few mistakes when it comes to how they've dealt with Iran. Iran and Hamas and Hezbollah are not backing down. In fact, they seem more emboldened than ever in the Middle East. What is your response?
Well, Cheryl, I think we're on the razor's edge of a significant escalation of the conflicts in the Middle East coming from both sides. And frankly, what I would say is, had we taken more decisive action against the Houthis early on when they first started that and tamped them down in their confines of where they are in Yemen, we wouldn't be where we are today. And of course, on our side, the U.S. and our allies have no alternative but to basically say, look, you can't keep this up. One of the things that I think, based on, of course, Iran yesterday is blaming the United States and Israel for the internal terrorist attack that happened in their country on the 4th year anniversary of Soleimani's death, the architect of all the terrorism.
A memorial
in the Middle
for
East.
him, correct?
At a memorial. But I mean, this guy is the #1 exporter of terrorists, the mastermind, the evil puppeteer behind Hamas, the Houthis, Hezbollah, the Iranian and Syrian proxies. And so basically, one of the things I think we need to do right away is I would not be bringing the Ford Carrier battle group back home. I think we need to keep all the force we have in the region. We've got to try to deter this escalation. You're not going to deter it by basically reducing the size of your capability in the region.
Well, look, the head of Hezbollah did threaten Israel yesterday. You similar mentioning this, but that terror group is not afraid of war. There was a drone strike earlier in the week, and that killed the founder of Hamas's military wing in Beirut, which many are saying good, that's positive. But Hezbollah's leader is calling the attack, quote, the flagrant Israeli aggression and a major dangerous crime which we cannot be silent about. So rhetoric I understand, but
Cheryl, he was just like Soleimani 4 years ago. He was an enemy combatant, a legitimate military target. Israel has got to take out Hamas's leaders wherever they are. And so, again...
they're in Qatar, but okay.
Yeah.
we know where some of them are.
Well, this one was in Lebanon. And you know, we have a reach during the Obama, the Trump, and the Biden administrations. We've been taking out terrorists by remote control, and Israel's doing the same thing. But I think we've got to really try to see if we can't take some serious steps to basically reduce this increased possibility of escalation, because this is going to happen not just in Gaza, but it's going to happen on many fronts. It could happen on the northern borders in Israel. I think we've seen over 100 attacks on our own forces in Iraq and Syria, and we have not responded as forcefully as we should to deter those.
Yeah. General, how much of this escalation do you believe is due to Biden's perceived weakness on the world stage? You've mentioned that we have not taken decisive action against these attacks on our troops, and the Biden administration is also responsible for enriching Iran over the past couple of years by not enforcing oil sanctions. So how much of that has to do with his policies, and is there a way that we can turn it around?
I would focus right now on what we have and have not done right in the Middle East rather than try to broaden it across the world. I mean, we should be doing a lot more to deter Xi in Taiwan. We should have been doing a lot more. Iran right now has enough enriched uranium to build 3 nuclear weapons. That's a pretty scary situation. And so there are things we could do now, particularly be more forceful in our deterring and our response to the attacks on our own forces, particularly keeping and beefing up our forces in the region so that if Hezbollah, for some reason, decides that they're going to escalate, then we have the ability to help Israel respond. So I would keep it focused in that region. And certainly mistakes were made early on. We could correct those mistakes now, but the only way we're going to correct it is to be very forceful in terms of what our retaliatory responses would be.
I guess the question for you that I would have is how bad can this potentially get? I mean, things seem to be getting worse and worse and worse day by day. We have no resolution in Ukraine. Things in Israel and in Gaza are getting, it seems like we're not really making any progress there. How bad can things get?
Well, actually, Kayleigh, that was actually, Mark, you're right. It is broader. I mean, we're on the razor's edge in Ukraine. I mean, you know, Taiwan, razor's edge. The border is so unsecure, and we aren't taking any steps. And the Congress is still on vacation. They should have come back and start working 24/7. They haven't passed the supplemental. They haven't passed funding for Israel, Ukraine, Taiwan. They haven't passed any additional security for the borders. And you're right. I mean, they should come back right now, 24/7, pass those supplementals, pass all the funding bills. They haven't passed the defense funding bill. and the CRs are getting ready to run out here in a couple of weeks. So Congress is a big part of this problem.
So there you have it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Are things going to be escalating between the United States and Iran? Are we going to be able to avoid war, or is it imminent? World War III is going to be coming as conflicts around the world are intensifying. And in addition to that, let me know your thoughts about the threats coming out from the United States, President Joe Biden, and our allies against Iran. Are they empty threats? As we've seen our troops attack time and time again, and literally we're hearing for every 10 attacks that take place against the U.S., there is only one attack response, and it is not matching the levels, and we are not sending the message. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Now, I'll be sure to keep you up to date as more information comes out. And in addition to that, if you did not hear about the threats that took place yesterday at capitals around the nation, be sure to check out this video right here next, as I covered it in detail for you. We heard 23 state capitals went into lockdown and had to do evacuations yesterday. Check it out right here next. But that is the latest, you guys, and thank you so much for joining me. In addition to that, thank you so much to today's video sponsor, and I'll keep you updated as more rolls out. But with that being said, I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.